Good evening. It's an arrest almost a year and a half in the making.
Mercer County police have charged a man for a 2011 double homicide that rocked a small town in northwest Ohio. News Channel 15's Adam Widener begins our team coverage of his arrest. He's live in the newsroom with the details. Adam?
Well, this morning, police announced the person who they say is responsible for this crime and say he was only 17 years old when he shot and killed Robert and Colleen Gruby in their Fort Recovery home. Still, police have left a lot of unanswered questions in this mysterious double homicide.
We're going to go ahead and get started.
Every day for the past 16 months, investigators were looking for the killer of Robert and Colleen Gruby. This morning, Mercer County Sheriff Jeff Gray had an answer.
We've charged Trevin Sanders. He is 18 years old. He was 17 years old at the time of this incident.
Sanders faces 27 criminal counts for allegedly tying up the Grubys in their Fort Recovery home, then shooting them to death. He was already being held in a jail in Michigan City, Indiana on prior charges. News Channel 15 discovered Sanders was charged with theft and residential entry this past November in Randolph County, Indiana. He's not the only one with prior charges. Yesterday, police arrested Bryant Rhodes for giving false information in the Gruby case. Rhodes was arrested for manufacturing meth in January of 2012. That was in Darke County, Ohio. Gray says one of the biggest breakthroughs came from information provided by Jay County deputies. Here's Chief Deputy Rob Bicknell.
Some of our officers responded to a call in the northeast part of the county, and some of the items recovered during the call were some duct tape and a .22 caliber handgun. And we'd kind of heard through the grapevine that these were some of the items that might have been used in the Gruby murder.
The items were merely coincidence, but that call led investigators to Rhodes's meth lab in Darke County, Ohio.
I'm going to say that was probably the turning point in the information that came out of that.
Still, Sheriff Gray has left a lot of unanswered questions in the Gruby case. We still don't have a motive or why the suspects only took a laptop from the home. The connection between Rhodes and Sanders is still unclear, and police had thought it was a man and woman involved in the double homicide. We don't know if a woman or anyone else helped with the crime. Now, the Mercer County Sheriff's Department is still looking for more tips and hopes to make more arrests in this crime. If you have any information, you're asked to call police. We're live in the newsroom. Adam Widener, News Channel 15.
With an arrest made and charges filed in the last 2 days, people in the small Mercer County town of Fort Recovery can rest a little easier knowing 2 men are now behind bars. News Channel 15's Randy Spieth was in the Gruby's hometown today and has more tonight.
The news spread quickly this morning through Fort Recovery, Ohio, that 18-year-old Trevin Sanders had been charged for killing Robert and Colleen Gruby. In fact, many people heard the news this morning on a radio broadcast. For this small Ohio community, which has less than 1,500 people, homicides rarely take place. Many people said they've never had a case like this ever inside the small town. One man we spoke with was Buzz Hall. He's lived in Fort Recovery, Ohio for his entire life. He says the past 16 months, people have taken extra steps to try to remain safe.
Especially the older people and people live alone, perhaps. It made them think a little bit more about locking the door a little more frequently. And a little bit of firearm protection, too.
The family has requested that the media not contact them. They're not going to make a statement at this time.
Buzz Hall and other residents here in Fort Recovery are glad arrests have been made and charges have been filed just 16 months after the Grubys were killed inside their home. But Mercer County Sheriff Jeff Gray says there's still more work to be done. The tip lines remain open, and they're hoping more people will come forward with information so they can find everyone responsible for the Grubys' deaths. Reporting from Fort Recovery, Ohio, Randy Spieth, News Channel 15.